What I kind of learned from my first relationship is we put a lot of dependence on the other person to make us happy.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that Will Smith said what he said. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, it's so true. Like, I have to be happy and you have to be happy on your own. And then we can come together and be happy.
That's healthy.
That's healthy. Rather than like, I need to wake up and like, she needs to make me happy today.
Because you guys both don't love yourself.
Right.
You feel me? Yo, what up, guys? It's ADIN Kalansky, and you're watching me on Livin Large.
Yeah. Welcome into the podcast, episode 24 of Livin Large. First and foremost, guys, I want to give you guys a huge thanks for all the support on the recent 2 podcasts. They performed extremely well. Just drop a like on this one. You know, it goes a long way. It's super simple. You just got to tap the button. We got ADIN Kalansky on the show today. Welcome, bro.
Mark?
Is this your first podcast?
This is not my first podcast.
That's some fucking bullshit. I want you off this podcast and just go be somewhere else.
You know what? Fuck off. I don't want to be here anyway. I was forced to be here.
Welcome into the show, bro. The New Jersey native, the big Philadelphia Eagle fan.
Yeah, tell you what, your boy's back in town.
Is that how you sound out there, eh?
That's not really how we sound, but that's how people think we sound, I feel like.
So ADIN got his start on Vine, yeah?
Yeah, towards the end of Vine.
So you're rest in peace. I'm so sorry.
R.I.P.
You and Lance really hit it off.
Yeah.
Talk about that and starting out on Vine and then the transition over to Facebook, and then we'll get into everything. But let's talk about what made you want to make Vines.
What's crazy about this is I feel like a lot of times in these situations, it's like someone decides they want to pursue a dream and no one supports them. Right. But it was the opposite with me. I did not want to do that shit. I was just watching other people make videos. I was like, this is awesome. And then my mom comes up to me one day. She's like, true story, what the fuck are you doing? Watching videos.
Your mom said that
My
to you?
mom said that to me.
You know what's funny? I'm not going to like say what you guys say, but ADIN showed me his conversations he has with his mom. You guys say the most reckless shit, bro. Like, I've never seen a mother-son relationship like yours. So that's actually, I believe it based on the conversation I've seen.
We're brutally honest with each other.
Yeah, that's
you
really
know what I mean?
Jersey people, New York people are.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
tough
that's
love.
Blunt people in New York, bro.
Oh, absolutely, bro.
Anyway, she's like, what the hell are you doing with your life?
She's like, what
You're
the fuck
lazy.
are you doing? And I'm like, watching videos. Why are you watching people do this when you could be doing it yourself? Because I love making people laugh. I'm a goofball.
Right,
you know how it is.
You like
we
to
hang
think
out.
so.
Yeah.
Take a sip of water.
Yeah. So, kind of just tried it one day. Lance and I started making some videos.
How'd you know Lance? Just friends?
Yeah, we grew up together.
Oh, so you guys started making them together. He wasn't like already big on Vine?
He was.
Okay.
Yeah. So we had like a YouTube channel when we were probably 13, 14 years old. Didn't really stick with that.
Right.
He started doing Vines, and then I hopped on there with him, had so much fun, was acting like an animal, and some of them took off.
That's pretty crazy. You started to build a following. When did you realize, oh, fuck, I can make money from this?
I think once I started to see other people doing it. I had no idea that it was a thing.
Right.
And then
did you have a job before, or were you just chilling at home?
I was doing some construction work. I used to work on log cabins, and then during the winter, dude, I would go out in the snow, shovel for like 50 hours nonstop.
You'd shovel driveways?
Shovel driveways, shovel like big parking lots, drive salt trucks, plows. So like complete career switch for me.
Oh, absolutely. Manual labor into like, I mean, it's still like hard labor. And a lot of people don't understand that when they get into it. They're like, oh, you just make videos. Like, it's so easy. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what's funny about that is everyone gets to see the glorified versions of it, but they don't see behind the scenes.
Right.
You know, even stuff like what we're doing now, hours go into preparation of this, like setting up a whole studio and everything. A lot goes into it.
Yeah, absolutely. So you got on Vine, rest in peace, shifted over to Facebook. What made you decide to live in Los Angeles? Because my podcast is called Livin Large.
Livin Large in Los Angeles.
Yeah, exactly, basically.
Yeah. Same thing, family and friends, and Lance actually had a place out here at the time, so he's like, why don't
Did
you come
he live
out?
in Vine, 1600 Vine?
Yeah.
Which everyone already knows by now. Everyone moved into the same apartment complex. We've talked about this 100 times on the podcast. You move in with Lance.
Yeah. And came out here, tried it out, staying out here, and I had so much fun, dude. Love the energy.
Lots of women.
I felt that doesn't hurt. That definitely doesn't hurt. I was like, oh shit, I've never seen anything like this before. But yeah, just meeting a lot of like-minded people, I was like, this is an environment I need to be around. Like meeting people like yourself and George and Jake, Logan, all those guys together. there's just so much energy in one place, and I felt like we were all alike.
Yeah, it's actually funny you say that, because I've said this on the podcast before. It's super important when pursuing a career path to surround yourself with like-minded people, because a lot of people aren't going to really understand. But if you surround yourself with people that do understand, they're going to push you, they're going to motivate you. Obviously, it paid off. You got 1 million on Insta, you got millions on Facebook. But let's talk about the shift in social media, because it went Vine, it went Facebook, it went Instagram, and then YouTube. Where did you feel like social media started to become more than just posting to your friends? And kind of like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. At what point?
Like more pressure, or at what point were you like, fuck, this is like a lot to handle?
I think when things just started to go up by the tens of thousands and then hundreds of thousands, you start to realize that you're not just putting stuff out there for your friends anymore. Right. You're putting stuff that's going to be seen by thousands of people, judged by thousands of people. People may take you as a role model already. So I'm saying things, and I have little kids watching,
right,
or people that I never would have imagined seeing my stuff. So then that's when I'd say the pressure picked up. Like, this is not just posted on Instagram anymore.
Did you ever put a brand-friendly tag on yourself where it's like you can't do stuff, or did you try to push the envelope and do like savage shit?
I try to be organic.
Okay.
You feel me? I don't want to sway. I'll never act a way that's not myself. So I won't try to go out of my way to be a savage. I won't try to go out of my way to be a saint. It's kind of whatever comes up at the time.
Right.
But I'm always just mindful of like somewhat being a good influence.
That's really good. So you went from doing construction to making videos, and what's your end goal now?
I want to be in film. I love the movies, and it's like
be an actor, be a director.
Yeah.
And how are you going to get there? Because a lot of people these days, they want to be YouTubers. Yeah. And that's absolutely fine. That's great. But it does have an end date. You can't be a YouTuber the rest of your life. Like, if you're 40, 50 years old, who's going to watch you?
Yeah.
For 20 plus years, waves happen. Good people come, they go, they come back. Like, it all happens in waves. So really, at the end of the day, when you want to be a YouTuber, you have to have a bigger goal in mind. Because sure, you can make quick cash. You can make, the Logan Paul money, the Shane Dawson money, the Jeffree Star money. You can make all these millions for a few years, which maybe, if you're smart, invest it and then you're set. But like, end goal wise, you kind of have to look at something more sustainable, in my opinion.
100%. I'm all about longevity too. That's why I think it's important to never really sell out.
Right.
It's okay to follow a trend sometimes, but you can't rely on those.
Right, of course.
Because they're short-lived,
Yeah. I mean, a lot of... I just had a train of thought, and then I looked at my phone and someone was calling me, and I lost it. So the sellout thing, it's interesting, because when brand deals started to first come around on Instagram, it was like, oh, you posted a brand deal? Like, it was like a jealous thing, but like a spite thing, like, oh, that's he's a sellout. But now I feel like since YouTube became such a flex-driven thing,
100%,
everyone fucks with people making money now.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. But anyways, let's shift the conversation. I want to do a little pause. I like to do 20 questions with my guests, but I have an interesting question thing for you.
Interesting question, huh?
It's like funny questions to ask, and I want to see what you can come up with here.
Okay.
What sport would be the funniest to add a mandatory amount of alcohol to?
Baseball.
Why?
Just watching everyone try to swing, and they would be all over the place, probably falling on their asses.
I like that one, yeah. What is something that everyone looks stupid doing?
Blowing your nose.
Okay. What is something that is really popular now, but in 5 years, everyone will look back on and be embarrassed by?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like just like these lip syncing videos. I don't know. It's not my thing.
God.
I can't do it, bro. I can't do it.
Oh my God. I know. Musically or it's TikTok now.
Yeah.
What inanimate object do you wish you could eliminate from existence?
Rocks, because I always step on them, I feel like.
Or Legos.
Yeah. Fuck Legos.
What is the weirdest thing you have seen in someone else's home?
Dude, one time I went over to my friend's house. I swear to God, I almost called the cops. So I wanted to borrow a jacket from him, and I opened up his closet. And he had a Michael Myers mask and a bat.
Oh, jeez.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What is this guy? Is this guy a killer? I guess he was just trying to like scare somebody.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. The weirdest thing I've seen in someone else's home, I went over to my buddy's house. You know him, I'm not going to say his name. And I was like holding up this like vase thingy. I don't know what it was. And he's like, oh yeah, it's an artifact, blah, blah, blah. He's like, do you know what's in it? Fucking cremated body, bro.
Oh no.
And he had it as a decoration.
That's not
I
a
was
decoration.
like, what the heck?
Yeah.
What part of a kid's movie completely scarred you?
Oh, Air Bud. So Air Bud's one of my favorite movies.
Oh, me too. Great movie.
He's good at every sport,
Yeah.
first of all.
Yeah.
He should get a contract. So anyway, Air Bud, the scene when he's like, no, buddy, I don't want you anymore. I don't want you. Go away. And the dog's like walks away all sad. Like, that ripped my heart out.
You know what's funny? The scene that scarred me was also a dog movie. My dog Skip, when they the people came and hurt. Yeah, I cried. I remember watching that as a kid. That was really bad. What used to be considered trashy, but now is very classy.
I just feel like clothing in general, you know, on all spectrums, men, women, everyone dresses to kind of show off whatever they got.
Yeah,
and back in the day, it was about conserving that.
Yeah, of course. Times have definitely changed.
Yeah.
What is the funniest joke you know by heart? You got anything?
My career. Let's go.
What's the best type of cheese?
Ooh, I'm definitely a mozzarella or a ricotta guy.
Okay. In one sentence, how would you sum up the internet?
The internet is unlimited.
What would be the absolute worst name you could give your child?
Marvin. I don't know, man.
That's pretty random.
Something about Marvin.
All right, this is the last one. What's the best Wi-Fi name you've ever seen?
Hide your kids, hide your Wi-Fi.
We had that.
Yes.
But that's a common one.
Yeah.
That's like not unique. At our old place when I lived with Logan, we used to have that.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's talk about this. So you moved out to Los Angeles. You have had to have been on some dates in your 3-4 years out here. Give me some juice, bro. What's the most awkward, uncomfortable situation you've been in?
Oh, God. Okay.
You were telling me earlier about that three-way. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so anyway, me and these... No, so a few years ago, there was this girl I had a crush on, and finally got the balls to ask her out. So we're going out for sushi, and...
Took her for sushi. She wanted to fuck, so you took it to go. Told him don't even plate it, and that's what she took you.
Damn!
A little drizzy line there.
Yeah, Mark's got some bars, I guess. So take this girl to sushi, and like halfway through the dinner, my stomach is really upset.
No.
Really upset to the point where I'm like, am I gonna shit myself?
I'm sure every dude's been through this.
Am I gonna get sick? I didn't know it was gonna happen, and she kept looking at me like really weird.
And it's grumbling, and you're like,
yeah. She could tell I was uncomfortable about it, just like playing it off.
She's like, is it me?
Yeah. So I went to the bathroom and I got sick. I got sick so much, but it wasn't from the food. It was just because I was so nervous hanging out with this girl, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was.
So what'd you do?
That was our last date. But
no, really?
Yeah.
Did you ever talk to her again?
Yeah, we're cool.
Did you close the deal?
You know, I might have.
I'll take that. So it turned out to be okay.
It turned out to be okay, but
that's the worst. You know what's funny? I like think back to high school and like hanging out with girls in high school was like I feel like I was such a bitch because I felt so nervous.
Yeah.
Every single time I was like scared.
Same.
Because I don't know, you're just young and immature and like you don't want people to find out and stuff like that.
Yeah. My thing was always like I would be so nervous sometimes. I would play it off. But I would be like walking up to a girl and it would take me 5 seconds to say hi. I'd just be like,
hey. I feel like you would play it off very well.
Yeah. Maybe I didn't show it.
I graduated high school a virgin. I don't know if I've ever said that. I'm proud of that. I used to get made fun of.
Hey, it's okay, bro.
No, of course it's okay. I was very dedicated to like... What'd you say?
Nothing.
What
I said you pussy.
Damn it. Guys, if you're listening and you're a virgin, that's great. I applaud that. I appreciate that. Because I was focused on like, you know what's funny? I was so worried, and I think a lot of people are like this about what other people were going to think of me in terms of what I was doing in life, especially living in a small town. And like, I was very smart, but I didn't act smart, you know? Like, I was a class clown. Like, I acted like I was an idiot. I didn't, but I was like always getting A's and stuff. I just like, looking back on your life, what's something that you wish you would have done differently, maybe growing up, that you can give advice to some young kid listening?
So I definitely resonate with the, trying to live up to a role. Like if you're perceived as the class clown, you feel like you always have to act crazy, you
Right.
always have to act funny. So I would say that be yourself, be whatever you feel in the moment. Don't feel you have to live up to anyone else's expectations, and don't put too much pressure on yourself, because I think I used to beat myself up too much a lot. Mm-hmm. And then as I got older, I kind of just realized, like, you're gonna fail, and then you're gonna succeed even more because you failed those times.
Has there been a time where you've failed and you felt really down, and like, for example, being out here in Los Angeles, has there ever been a time where you're like, fuck, man, like, I don't want to go back home?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
How did you deal with that situation and overcome it?
Kind of just knowing that it's just temporary, mm-hmm. and you'll get through it, and that there's millions of other people all over the world going through things that are a lot worse. So
right.
Then you just got to work harder, bust your ass, and find a way to get to that next tier.
How do you feel about the shift in your career? Like we talked about earlier, from Vine to Facebook to Instagram. Now I know you're DJing. You're practicing becoming a DJ, making some music. Is that something that you thought would happen, or are you shifting to adapt?
I definitely like to adapt, but I did not see these types of things happening. I think it's so amazing that we have these larger platforms now where we can upload longer content, because I feel like we can show us.
Right.
You can't show you in 6 seconds.
Of course, yeah.
You can, but it's not you.
Mm-hmm.
So now you get to share all these different aspects of your life with people, and connect with all these people with those different things.
We were just like staring at each other for like 2 seconds. I was like trying to think of the next question to ask.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
What do you think of all this stuff going on with the news? It's with the guy on that Empire TV show.
Oh, I called it from the start.
Really?
So
I'm not really familiar with it, but I just talked to my dad on the phone, and he talked to me about it, and I was like, whoa, like,
yeah,
that's some pretty intense shit.
I'm very upset. I'm really upset because
I'm upset.
59. I'm upset though, because it's such a serious topic, and it's such a serious matter. So even if he got attacked, that's horrible.
What's the story, basically? Because I'm unfamiliar with what happened.
So the story is that he was walking in the middle of the night, early morning in Chicago, and was attacked by 2 guys that yelled MAGA country, and they called him mm-hmm. some racial slurs and some other derogatory terms, and it was a hate crime. They poured bleach on him, all this stuff.
Fuck?
Yeah, so that was the report. He had a noose around his neck, they said. And it was this awful description of a hate crime, and very well may have had happened.
Yeah.
The way it was worded, but so
something came out that he hired them.
Something came out that he hired the guys.
How did that come about? How did that news come about?
They searched hundreds of hours of footage in the city, and they found 2 guys that they thought may have been suspects, uh-huh. and they brought them in. They questioned them, and I guess the guys gave them some details, like, this guy hired us.
But he still denies it. So
he still denies it. So
they could be. I mean, it could be. You don't know. Yeah.
That's why I'm upset about this. Mm-hmm. Is because if he got attacked, it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's tragic. For people in those communities.
Mm-hmm.
That overcome struggles every day and put up with abuse. If it didn't happen, it's even worse almost, because he's someone that already has a voice. He already has the power to make a statement about those issues. You could voice your opinion on those matters. You could make a movement. So
yeah, it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out, like what the actual truth is, because I know that he's denying it, obviously.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
We'll see what
some
happens.
Other news. Did you see the news about Tristan Thompson and Khloe Kardashian?
Briefly, you want to kind of give me the rundown?
Basically, from what I'm gathering, Tristan Thompson cheated on. I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh about this. But it's just like, there's so many things that happen in this family's life that it's like, it's literally a movie.
It is.
You can't write this.
No.
Apparently, Tristan cheated on Khloe with Kylie Jenner's best friend and roommate, Jordan Woods.
Man. Oh. That's why I saw the trending hashtags today.
But part of me, dude, thinks that this is a setup.
You never
Just
know nowadays.
based on the history of like Kris Jenner's geniusness with like publicity and PR stunts.
Yeah.
Like something has to be happening in the Kardashian world that they need the eyeballs on them.
Need the buzz.
Because every time, for example, when Kanye went on about the Trump stuff, he was the most talked about person on the internet. Guess what? I'm dropping an album next week.
Right.
It's all to get the eyeballs on him. And then
It's all about the monies.
what's her name? Didn't Kylie announce that she was pregnant or the baby when the Super Bowl was happening last year?
Yeah.
They just do things super strategically to
Perfect
get all
timing.
to get all the eyeballs. And even when Tristan cheated on her the first time, it was like when she was in labor. And it's
Wow,
like
I didn't even notice that.
yeah, he was seen with another girl
Right.
in Cleveland or something like that. Shout out Cleveland. Hometown. But I think it's so hard for me to believe anything that family does is real. Because reality TV isn't real.
It's not real. It's scripted reality.
Yeah, like you have a goal in mind to achieve at the end of the show, and it's like, hey guys, let's start an argument today about this,
Yeah.
and then we'll overcome it. You know, what
It's
I'm saying?
reality entertainment is what it is.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? Me and George got in this huge fight yesterday. We were yelling at each other.
Yeah?
And this is like a funny thing because we're best boys, we're roommates. This morning, we're good. You know what I'm saying? Like
It brushes off.
Yeah, why is it that guys can just be like, oh, all right, man, like, you know, bridge, or what's that expression? Bridge under troubled water? Or,
Bridge over troubled waters.
Whatever, something like that. We just throw it under the rug, and like, I feel like girls can't do that.
I agree, man. I agree. I don't know why that is, but I've noticed the same thing growing up too.
Do you have any
like,
stories like that where it's like you and your boy got in a fight or something like that?
Not quite like someone I was already friends with, but this kid had some beef with me and wanted to start a fight with me, and I just went up to him. I'm like, yo, I never said anything about you, so I don't know why you have a problem with me. Next thing you know,
came up to him starting shit?
no, he was like already talking shit about me behind my back and online and stuff. So I came up to him.
Oh,
And
you were one of those guys.
Yeah. Well, I was like, yo, like, I don't have a problem with you, so I don't know why you have a problem with me. Like, I never said shit about you. Next thing you know, we're like boys all of a sudden.
Why? Because he was a pussy?
Yeah.
I feel like people that talk shit
not
online.
even.
I feel like people that talk shit online, if you go up to them and confront them in person, like, they're pussies.
Yeah. Just like generally speaking, though, like we get over shit quick.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of like something, and I don't know if we talked about this. I talked about this with my other buddy, just because you and me both recently going through breakups. I don't know if you want to share any of that stuff, but something that I've realized is like a lot of your happiness has to do with you.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like
happiness comes down to your self-worth. You
Right.
just got to know what you're worth, and then you're fine.
Like if you choose to let small things go.
Yep.
Like you're gonna be so much happier in life. Like for example, stuff like me and George getting in a fight. I was pissed about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck George. Like I'm not gonna talk to him all day. And then I went to the gym. I cleared my head, and I was like, at the end of the day, I'm like, damn, he's my boy. He's been there for me for 2-3 years. This is stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I gonna choose to be upset about this? And I realized
one little thing,
right?
know?
And I realized something. Like I started the day with bad energy. And that's not something that I want to do because I've been waking up at 5:30 every morning going to the gym.
Mark has been grinding.
I've been grinding
He's
at
been
the gym.
grinding.
And I woke up and I was just sour, bro. And I was like, fuck, I don't want this to dictate my day.
Yeah, that's
and it's
so real, bro.
insane how energy can shift once you like mentally shift it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
And you are who you hang out with. So like the negative energy was there and we were negative, but then like I just shifted it and I literally like DM'd him. I'm like, I just made fun of him and I was just like, could tell that I moved on from like our argument, and he was good and he came down, we like apologized and shit, and it's like it's fucking man shit right there.
Yeah. That's so real, bro. That's awesome of you too to be able to just look past that shit because like you said, you can't let one little thing define you.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. All about good energy, man. I saw this quote the other day and it said, "Did you really have a bad day? Or did you just have a bad couple hours and let that energy dictate the rest of your day?"
That's actually a really good quote.
You know, so you could be like, fuck, that sucked, but I'm going to try and move on it I'm going to try and move on and enjoy the rest of my day.
How do you keep a positive mindset? Because something I admire about you is like, I mean, obviously Instagram's the highlight reel, but every time I see you on the gram and all that shit, you're always having a good time.
I'm just a happy person, man. I'm blessed to have great people in my life. I'm doing something I love every single day. The sun is shining most of the time in LA.
Yeah.
I'm a happy guy.
What's something that gets you down?
Something that gets me down is
Besides your girlfriend breaking up with you. Sucks everything out of you.
Rips the heart out right now. Probably, I feel like I'm someone that's always been accepted, and I'm grateful for that. So if I ever feel like if I underdeliver, you know, if I'm not being funny enough or fun enough for people, it's like I do still struggle with like that role playing. You know, when you're the fun guy, not like a mushroom. When you're like the fun guy, you always have to be that
The fun
hype,
guy.
entertaining guy, and it gets tiring. So stuff like that, and then like, you know, career stuff. Career, you can get down on yourself, like, oh
Right.
fuck, I really wanted to get that audition.
Uh-huh.
I really wanted to get that part. Stuff like that. But overall, like emotionally, I'm always pretty happy.
That's really good. I actually saw something that Will Smith said about him and his wife. You can't depend on someone else to make you happy.
No.
He's like, I have to wake up and I have to be happy today. My wife has to wake up and she has to be happy. And we need to bring that happiness together in order for a relationship to work. And I think what I kind of learned from my first relationship is we put a lot of dependence on the other person to make us happy.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that Will Smith said what he said. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, it's so true. Like, I have to be happy and you have to be happy on your own. And then we can come together and be happy.
That's healthy.
That's healthy. Rather than like, I need to wake up and like, she needs to make me happy today.
Because you guys both don't love yourself.
Right.
You feel me? Will Smith is talking about loving yourself and knowing your self-worth.
Yeah, I know.
They both know their self-worth, like you said, so they're coming together.
I think that's something really hard to find too. I think it takes time to mature. Like, we're always maturing every single day. We're always changing. I'm 25 and I'm just starting to like think about these types of things. Cause my whole life I haven't thought about that shit. You know, I just kind of like woke up and lived day by day.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like, damn, I have a lot more time on my hands.
Yeah.
So I'm like obviously in my thoughts and shit. And I'm like, damn, you know, like I could have handled that situation better. I think one of the things that comes with like relationships and is accountability.
Absolutely.
Being accountable.
You got to be able to admit when you're wrong.
Right. And there's a funny quote in a relationship for the guy. You can either be right or you can be happy. So so from now on, I'm just going to choose to be happy.
I like that.
Dead ass, bro.
Yeah.
But what's in the works for you?
What's in the works for me? So I was just working on a Facebook show like the past month and a half.
Uh-huh.
Can't say what it is yet, but it'll be
Okay.
be coming out soon. So I was working on that. Really just trying to transition more into the acting stuff, bro. It's so much
You
fun.
went on auditions?
Yeah.
How hard is that?
It's tough, especially in the room, because if you're on a tape, you could get, 50 takes until you get your perfect thing. When you walk in there, you got one shot, that's it. And they either like you or they don't. So
It's actually really nerve-wracking.
Mm-hmm.
And the self-tapes are super easy. So, guys, basically in acting, you can either audition in two separate ways. You can send in a self-tape, which is you filming yourself against a white wall, doing the lines to someone else that's off camera. Or you go into the room and you sit in the lobby and you wait and you have other people there. You see your competition.
hear other competition.
You hear other competition, especially if it's like a loud role.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, fuck, I didn't practice it that way.
Yeah.
And you hear some guy going before you, and you're like, whoa, he did that completely different than I'm practicing it. Now you're in your head.
Second
You're like,
guessing
shit, You're
yourself.
second guessing, like, did I do this right? Did I interpret this character right? And then you go in there, and then it's like, you're nervous, and it's really about, in my opinion, when you enter the room, they look at how you look first, obviously,
Definitely.
and they know if you have the role or not, or a chance at getting the role.
Yeah.
Because they have a vision in mind.
You have to fit that visual what they want.
Exactly. And then hopefully you can deliver and hopefully you can memorize your lines, and hopefully you could deliver it the way you intended on delivering it and the right way. There's so many things involved
variables
in acting, which is why it is so difficult and discouraging, because in social media, I'm pushing my
He's like, there's so many
what I enjoy about social media is I'm in full control of everything. I cast myself, you know what I'm saying?
You're
come up
editing.
with I do everything, and everything is in my control. When you go into act, nothing is in your control except what you bring to the table. Absolutely. And then you have the decision of the casting director, then the director, then the producer, and then you have all this competition. It's so hard, but it's so important to stay motivated and not discouraged. So if you guys want to be actors, I'm still trying. I've been in 2 things.
Yeah,
You're still trying.
I've been in a couple things. It's tough. It's a lot of work.
So that's why in the meantime, we do social media, we do music, we do all these things to keep us busy and make money. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's really good.
I think social media is cool too, because now the level of stuff that, you know, is shot and produced, you get your practice in acting.
Yeah, of course.
It's not like back in the day
turning
where
out
you're
content,
It's not like back in the day where you're just going on
Yeah.
the camera for a couple seconds. You're actually acting.
Yeah, it's still internet acting. We call it internet acting versus like acting, which acting is like you don't really act. You just like live. You know what I'm saying? Like this is acting.
Essentially.
You know what I'm saying? Just being myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, becoming the character, it's super hard. But that's really dope, man. I mean, I'm excited. You know, you got to manifest that shit.
Yeah,
we were talking about this the other day.
Definitely.
Like, good things will come if you think positively and put yourself in that mindset.
And what's funny is, you know, you were talking about just attracting better energy and like happier people, hanging out with happier people. I feel like you and I specifically haven't hung out for a while.
Very long time. Relationships get in the way
very
of a lot
long
of things.
time. Yeah. Hey, it happens.
Well, that's what happens. You spend a lot of time with your significant other and you kind of drift away from everyone else because nothing else in your life matters.
It happens, you know, but it's all
But
good.
now we're fucking back, bro.
Now we're fucking back.
Yeah.
We're here.
No, but it's really good because like that's something that I've been trying to do too.
Yeah.
Is rekindle old friendships, respark the flame, because it's like you're good people. You know what I'm saying? And there's never been a moment in time where me and you haven't hung out and had a good time.
Absolutely. But kind of where I'm getting at with that is I feel like lately we've both been on these just upward climbs of how great we're feeling about everything. And we've been hanging at like the best time. Yeah. We've been manifesting just good energy, good things happening. I myself, I can't speak about some things, but I'm doing some things that have come. It's just all about mindset, man. And yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Livin' Large. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for having me, bro. I had so much fun.
I enjoyed talking, man.
Absolutely.
And I'll see you guys next week. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Doses.